Alright lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal beaten Leyton Orient 2-0 in a game behind closed doors to begin off our preseason. In a game where Gabriel Jesus has been absolutely brilliant, and Emil Smith Rowe has also been on the score sheet. Gabriel Jesus in this game has both scored and also assisted for Arsenal. The next step is Arsenal to go to the US, where we play Bournemouth on the 25th of this month. We also take on Manchester United on the 28th of this month, and we take on Liverpool on the 1st of August. But the first game of preseason has been won. Very clearly, a clean sheet once again has been kept. A couple of highlights that we have got to scroll through, and a couple of big talking points as well that we've got to talk about, especially the fact that Mikel Arteta doesn't have a couple of players. Today, some big first team players played, the likes of Edin Ketia, Gabriel Jesus, Reece Nelson, but of course also a couple of youngsters played, especially the goalkeepers, where we saw Karl Heinz start in goal, and then Lucas Nigard come on later for him as a substitution. We're going to talk about Julian Timber. He's played at centre back in this game. We're going to talk about the future of ESR as he scores, and then we'll talk about the importance of Gabriel Jesus and players like Fabio Vieira, who have been very crucial and very important for Mikel Arteta. But at least winning the game, that absolutely feels good. It feels good to have Arsenal back. It feels good to have club football back. I want to watch my team, and today we've just watched Arsenal beat Leyton Orient 2-0 absolutely nil. Now, in terms of the starting 11 in this game, Mikel Arteta chose to go with a mixture of some of the experienced players and some of the first team players, and then a couple of youngsters. So in goal, he played Karl Heinz in goal first in the starting 11. Ben White was part of the starting 11. Timber is starting 11. Heaven was part of the starting 11. Lewis Kelly was part of the starting 11. Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, Gabriel Jesus, and Edin Ketia were part of the starting 11 that started. In terms of substitutions, a couple of youngsters came on. Lucas Nigard in goal in the 70th minute. Resaiki came on for Ben White in the 60th minute. We saw Omar Rekik coming on. We saw a couple of other players like Nicholas Patino as well. Patino is expected to leave, by the way. So him coming on, that actually means something very significant, as a player. So there was a mixture, and I think this is what Mikel Arteta is going to work with throughout preseason, and that's the biggest point in this game. You're not going to have a couple of players back before maybe Liverpool 1st August. A couple of players will not be back. Declan Rice is not back yet. Ramsdale is not back yet. Saka is not back yet. Havertz is not back yet. Saliba is not back yet. Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Martinelli, all those players are not yet back. So that means that Mikel Arteta has got to work with a few that are already around. I think I've seen Jorginho back. So Jorginho is back. And even until the beginning of the season, we might not see a full Arsenal starting 11 until then. And that's what this game teaches us, that this summer, you're not going to see a full Arsenal house like we saw in previous summers. You're going to be seeing a few Arsenal players come in, a few first team players come in, and then a few youngsters as well. You can see there Odegaard has participated in this game. The top performances in this game, I want us to start off with Gabriel Jesus. Top performance from Gabriel Jesus, top performance from him. He's been really struggling to come back and try to prove a point. He's been working hard behind the scenes. He's one of the players that didn't make it to the Brazilian squad in the Euros. In the Copa America. Did I say Euros? Copa America. And he was a little bit frustrated. He was a little bit unhappy about that. But he said, look, I've had a very disturbing season. I'm going to settle down. I'm going to sit down and play football. I'm going to represent the team. I'm going to work on my fitness, and come preseason, I want to have a full preseason with Arsenal and see where what the next season is actually going to bring. And he has started off in very great gear. If you look at this goal, it's a brilliant goal, by the way. It's a very brilliant goal that is scored by Gabriel Jesus. You can see Edin Ketia there. He lays it off. Gabriel Jesus takes a touch. Very good centre forward play. And then he buries it into the back of the net. And overall, in this game, apart from the goal, he's actually had a very good game. And I won't say that, I really won't say top performance. It's Leyton Orient behind closed doors. But you score and you also provide an assist in the same game. That tells you the mentality of the footballer. That tells you that he's working to come back and he's actually ready to come back and play some big part. This season for me, it's going to be a big decider for Gabriel Jesus, especially with his future at Arsenal. The manager likes him, and is a manager's favorite. There's no question about that. But when you have players like Edin Ketia that are leaving, it means that there is now a big responsibility onto the shoulders of both Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. And although Gabriel Jesus at times goes under the radar in terms of missing out on the criticism, and it goes to Kai Havertz because he was bought for more money, and he's the one that the fans didn't like, Gabriel Jesus has now got to take the responsibility. If Arsenal score a goal, we must look, is Gabriel Jesus onto the score sheet? If Arsenal win a game, is Gabriel Jesus onto the score sheet? If he doesn't score, if Arsenal don't win again next season, it's gonna be about him. So I'm happy to see him fit. Today he played a little bit, I would say, positively. He played with a smile on his face, and he played as a player that has recovered from his injuries. What we are praying is that he puts his injuries at the back of his problems. He puts his injuries in his past, and then he moves on and works on with the journey that Arsenal want him to be. Edin Ketia as well had a very good performance. He missed a couple of chances. Edin Ketia in this game, by the way, I don't know if I'm right to say this, but he missed 3 chances. And I'm not trying to say that that is how bad he is. I'm trying to say that he's got to work on his finishing, but also Arsenal have got to look into all this data. If Edin Ketia is missing sitters and chances against Leyton Orient, maybe while you still have 30 days to the end of the window, or even more than 30 days to the end of the window, you might be drawing up your transfer wish list for strikers and making those deals a little bit quicker. But Eddie played, and I think Eddie, if he doesn't leave quickly this summer, he's going to be part of the players that start the season for Arsenal. So he played at centre forward, and then Gabriel Jesus played out wide, and then Fabio and Reece Nelson also played out wide. So in midfield, it was Partey, Vieira, and Martin Odegaard. So you can see that Mikel Arteta, of course, doesn't have many options, but he is not afraid of playing 2 attacking midfielders and then 1 defensive midfielder in midfield. The other talking point for me that I want us to talk about has been about Julian Timber. Obviously, we'll talk about Odegaard, had a good game, assisted. But this man, Julian Timber, played alongside, he played at centre-back. That's what I wanted to say. He played at centre-back. And I saw that as a very, very key update and something to note out of this game. Now, of course, you could say, Cossy, you see, we didn't have Saliba there, we didn't have Gabriel there, this and that. And I really, really do understand. I really understand. Of course, the likes of Kivio also and Zinchenko played at the Euros, so they're still getting a little bit of rest. But with Julian Timber playing at centre-back, could his future as well be at centre-back? Could we see Julian Timber, William Saliba, Calafiori, and Ben White play, in the back 4 or in a back 4 at Arsenal at some point in time? Because I don't think that he straight away goes out of the starting 11. I don't think Arsenal are going to drop him right away. I think we're going to find a way of seeing him, and Mikel will find a way of playing him in a couple of games. So Julian Timber played at centre-back today, and that's a massive update. That's a big update for his future. If he continues playing, I want to see where he plays more this preseason. Is he going to continue to play at left-back? Is he going to continue to play at right-back? Or is he going to play at centre-back, right? Because as the season starts, if Gabriel and Saliba are not yet there, we have to select our centre back pairing. And for me, the centre back pairing I would go for would be Timber at centre back and Calafiori at centre back as well. and then we could see either Takeru Tomiyasu at left back and then Ben White at right back. That is the starting 11 I would go for. So in this game, he has played at centre back. I want you to know your thoughts of Julian Timber at centre back. Now, another performance that we've got to recognize, guys. Another performance that we've got to recognize is Emil Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe has also played a decent chunk of minutes. And in this game, ESR has actually scored a goal. Now, we know that there are bids in for ESR. Does that change the future? Does that change the way we look at him? Probably yes, probably no, right? I think Mikel Arteta as manager now needs to make a decision, right? You've seen him in this game. You've seen what he can do. You've seen his level, right? We're going to talk about Vieira, and we're also going to talk about the goalkeeping department and Odegaard. But with ESR, does this performance, what Arsenal have seen, has it changed the manager's mind? Or it's just Leyton Orient, right? And therefore, Arsenal still prefer to sell. Because for me, in such games is where a player like ESR affects the decision-making of the manager. If you want the manager to see you as an important part of his squad, what you do in that game, you perform at a high standard. Did he perform at a high standard? I think he did. He scored. And for me, it doesn't really get much better than that. Like Odegaard today had a very good game as well. Very, very good game. But for me, with ESR, this preseason is going to determine whether Arsenal keep him or do not keep him. I think he will play in the Bournemouth game. We'll get to judge him from there. He will also play in the Manchester United game. I really reckon that Arsenal keep him until 28th. That's around 8 days from now. So from 8 days from now, we are going to see him being selected, right? We're going to see him being selected. And if he plays well, there is a chance that Arsenal will keep him. If he doesn't play well, maybe that's where the line is going to be drawn, right? Maybe that's where the line is going to be drawn. Maybe that's where the manager is going to say, we are going to sell you. Reece Nelson, I think for him is already gone. But for me, the point is with Emil Smith Rowe, right? Getting onto the score sheet once again, impacting games once again. I think the manager now has a big decision to make. Fabio Vieira also played in this game together with Martin Odegaard. And I think for me, those two are the future for Arsenal. Those two are not going anywhere. Those two are not going to be players we touch this summer. Odegaard, definitely captain, top performance again. But with Fabio Vieira, is his future going to be affected by his performances in preseason? Now, I want to go back and rewatch the whole game. I'm going to go back and rewatch the whole game. Tomorrow in the morning show, I am going to specifically talk about the players that are looking to leave the Arsenal, and I will relate them to this performance. Obviously, it's the first performance out of many that we're going to see, but also the first performance ever since the team broke off. So I'm not going to say, this performance, this one played poorly, this one played very well, but I would like to see a team that puts in a good shift, and Arsenal did put in a good shift. So Fabio Vieira, I'm going to watch him this preseason together with ASR, together with a couple of other players to see whether Arsenal are making the right decision to keep them or to let them go. Now, the goalkeeping department and situation at Arsenal is something that we also have noticed in this game. In the first 70 minutes, from minute 1 to minute 70, Mikel Arteta played Karl Hein. Karl Hein would be Arsenal's third choice goalkeeper. Arsenal's third choice goalkeeper, right? That is Karl Hein. As a substitution, Arsenal brought on the first signing Arsenal made this summer, and that is Lucas Nygaard, the young goalkeeper. Of course, both of them kept a clean sheet when they're on the pitch. That's quite impressive. But what I want to say is that the goalkeeping department, as we enter preseason, needs to be set very, very well. Now, Arsenal obviously have completed the signing of Ajax star Tommy Setford. That might mean a little bit much more. But having those two in goal, that is Lucas Nigard and Carl Hayne, as you visit Bournemouth, as you play Bournemouth in the USA, as you also play Man United in the USA, that might not be what we need, right? So I still think that at any point in time, Arsenal should sign a new goalkeeper before we fly out to the USA, or as we fly out to the USA, Arsenal should sign a new goalkeeper so that we can get our hopes very, very high in pre-season. But listen, very good to see Arsenal back. Very, very nice to see your team, play again. That red and white is something that I really, really miss. Not with Switzerland, right? I don't want to see Switzerland putting on, or Denmark. I want to see Arsenal wearing it. So the team is back. The boys are back. We have seen a great performance from the lads. Let's hope for good performances this pre-season. Let's hope that we can prepare adequately, very well, so that we can go and challenge Manchester City this coming season. As always, come on you Gunners, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll speak soon.